So let's talk about how can we communicate better. Well, first of all, to communicate better, I think you have to do two things. Number one, you have to improve in expressing what you're feeling to the person that you're in a relationship to. And number two, learn your language about the feelings of the person that you're in a relationship with. See, one is about my ability to communicate to you, and the other is about my ability to understand from you. Too many people deductively reason, facts, not feelings. It's all about, does it make sense? And yet, too many people use that notion of 90% facts and 10% feelings, and they destroy their love relationships. Okay? Now, if in fact we're going to communicate better by, I'm going to learn how to talk to you more about my feelings, and two, I'm going to learn to understand from you your feelings, then I'm going to give you some ideas about how do I communicate feelings. Number one, speak from your heart, not from your head. You know, if it's not about facts, it's not about it, but it is about feelings. You have to learn how you feel. Where is your heart? Where are your feelings? I've worked with a lot of men. They really can use big words like anger or frustrated or sad, but they don't know how to use a more sophisticated language like, you know, I need to let you know I'm disappointed, I'm let down. I need to get away from those big words like anger, which are too global and too abstract, and I can't communicate with people that just use those big words, and get more to, I'm disappointed that when I come home at night you haven't set time aside for me because it reflects to me that I'm just not significant in your life. See, you give me something to work with when you talk about that kind of stuff. Number two, I want you to be centered on your reality. See, if it's about how do I communicate feelings, and I center on my reality, my emotions, my feelings, and I communicate to you, then I'm giving you something to work with. Hopefully, an ability to understand me. Number three, be expressive and use feeling words. Too many people don't realize that the better job I do in communicating to you how I feel by using these words like frustration, I find that I'm losing motivation, inspiration. As I communicate, I'm despairing, I'm frustrated, I don't feel good about myself, and get away from those global words like sad, mad, angry, happy, that I increase my odds for success, and in doing so, develop that communication style that's strictly our style. And then finally, number four, use reflective questioning. You know, if somebody's trying to communicate to me about their feelings, maybe they're not coming across just the way that they think they are. Or for that matter, as I communicate to you, maybe I should use some tactics to understand. Do you know what I'm talking about? So I might say, hey, look, I want you to know I'm really frustrated right now because we don't have enough time together and I feel left out. My partner listens. Then I might say, now, based on what I just said to you, what do you think I'm trying to communicate? See, I'm reflecting back to them, encouraging them to give me back what I've told them so I know they've got it. Okay? Those are very important, and I would like you to try that. Now, as I bring about this topic to closure, I want to remind you of, again, my idea about honesty. Honesty, my ability to accurately describe my emotions, accurately describe the facts and the feelings of our relationship. Unfortunately, it's been my experience that a lot of people, they think that honesty is to say I'm sorry, or that honesty is to say I'll do better, or honesty is to say, you know, gosh, I've told you I was wrong, what more do you want? And yet, in those 5 levels of relationship, as acquaintances become friends and friends become roommates, and moving our way to companions and lovers, I'm going to tell you, the ones that make it aren't the ones that are honest as much as they are more accountable. See, because honesty is when I apologize and say you're right, and I let you know accurately how I feel, or accurately accept responsibility for what I've done. But accountability is, what am I going to do about it? See, that's what's so much more important to me. It's not the honesty that I've made a mistake or that I recognize that we have issues. It's the accountability. Now that we see this gap, what are we going to do about it? Now, I've given you some ideas, but let me go through a couple of them. Number one, I'm going to remind you about the mason jar exercise. Make sure that your priorities, as you think they're important, are those shared by your partner. Number two, that idea of the priority, the pie chart. Lay out your life, see where you spend your time. Is my commitment to how I lead my life also a commitment to the things that are important to me? Remember those big balls in the jar? You may do what I did and start all over again. You take that piece of paper, you look at your needs, you realize how you spend your time, and guess what? You cut back on your hours, but you cut back on your spending, and you do a little bit more financial management, and you give a higher priority to something that's already in your life. And then with that, the idea of communications, that we need to learn to speak from our heart, be centered on our reality, be expressive and use feeling words, and then use reflective questioning, okay? Today's topic's a good topic. I hope that you do the exercises, the mason jar exercise and the priority chart. And I'd like you to focus on those needs. And the one of the two, of course, your needs that I don't satisfy, and two, my needs that you satisfy that I don't appreciate. If you begin working there, then you can't help but help heal this relationship, and with it, hopefully increase the opportunity for this relationship to thrive as a companion or a love level relationship. Okay? Again, I'm Dr. Gordon Pilet. Thank you.